everyone. Before you say anything, I know you don't have to tell me to go drink tea. My throat is very sore. I just got back from a trip to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital with my Twitch team, Center Stage. I don't talk about Center Stage a lot on YouTube because they're a Twitch team, but they're my team of Just Dance and variety streamers, and I love them so much. And every May we fundraise for St. Jude, and we've raised over $560,000 in the last few years. And St. Jude actually invited us to the campus to go tour the hospital and meet some past patients in March of 2020. The trip got canceled, and I don't know what happened. There's nothing that I can think of that started in March 2020. But finally, our trip got rescheduled for this past week. And I had so much fun. I met so many people that came from all around the world that I wouldn't have met otherwise. And I feel like you can tell by my voice that I had a good time. It was just a lot of screaming and crying and throwing up and pooping and farting. But I think you can tell that I had a good time because my voice is gone. She has left the building. However, I did get to react with everyone to the new previews, and I have that video. So I hope you enjoy us reacting to the new previews this week together. We were all very shocked that there were 6 previews. We were not expecting that many. So I'm really glad that we got to experience them together. So yeah, I'll show you guys our reactions, and then I'll talk a little bit afterwards about my impressions and my thoughts and my feedback and blah, 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 blah. Okay, enjoy.
You ready?
Yeah. Yes.
Let's do it.
I'm so excited. Yeah, it was amazing. Lincoln Park now. Women as a duet. Oh my god. So cool. I know. Oh, in the background. They also the backgrounds of the video. It's actually cool.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, so it's of the actual video. I want both
Both
of
like
them.
reference.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh my god.
Wow.
We're back, baby.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god. I like the little toe tap so much. I know. I desperately want this background. I want this background to be real. Like, just
Before we get into the reaction for Dynamite Classic, I have to let everyone in on an inside joke. So there is a Just Dance and variety streamer on our team named Compact. And when Dynamite Extreme came out, everyone in our community noticed that Compact looks exactly like the coach in the pink shirt and the orange pants. The resemblance is uncanny, and we're always joking about how he needs to break his NDA contract with Ubisoft to tell us what it was like to be a coach. So if you see us freaking out at Compact, that's why. Anyways, resume.
Dynamite. Oh, Dynamite too. Yeah.
oh my god, that's cute. It's so cute. Yeah, we're all just doing the hand motions. I can't. I like that. It's so It's so Americana. so sassy. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, they included her in your claws too. Oh my god. I need this so well with her vibe. Yeah, like it really like matters. It's the coolest. This is like the coolest. I want to be this. Yeah. I want to be this one day. Oh, I know.
This next one is walking on sunshine.
I was like, wait, is this wrong? I wonder if she's related to the other.
Just kidding, it's ultimate.
Sitting down burger?
No! Oh my god, this is amazing. Oh my god.
The sun and moon like combination.
Yeah, phenomenal.
The outfit.
I was gonna say good luck to cosplayers.
Oh my god. I love this. This is amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
The sun and moon.
I hope you liked our reactions. I have to say that watching these new previews with like a ton of big fans in the same room, it feels like you're watching like a football game or something because everyone's freaking out at the same time. People at St. Jude were like, I don't know what this is, but I'm glad you're having a good time. Keep having a good time. But I did take notes on like my thoughts on the preview so that I can talk about it when I get home, and here I am. So I'll start with Bring Me to Life. Do you remember in a previous video when I said that me and my Twitch community have a joke about Bring Me to Life coming to Just Dance? We have a joke in our chat that someday they'll add Bring Me to Life by Evanescence because it's such a such a depressing song that I can't imagine like doing turns and like all these cute little like moves to it. If only I could manifest sneaker night like this. The power I would hold. First of all, I have to say, I think there's a very interesting conversation around more like depressing songs coming to Just Dance. And I do have a little bit of input on that. When I was growing up, I was very emo. I feel like when you're growing up and something goes wrong, it feels like the whole world is crumbling around you. If I had Numb and Bring Me to Life on Just Dance when I was a kid, I'd be playing those bops on repeat. So I really love that they're bringing dances to Just Dance with different moods other than just like party or happy. Also, seeing more contemporary makes me really happy. Something I noticed about this map is that the two dancers have really good chemistry. They have to rely a lot on like their position without looking at each other, and I think that's really impressive. I love this steampunk vibe. I loved watching like the background just slowly break apart. I thought that was so cool. I am very impressed with this map. I haven't tried dancing to it yet, so I'm not sure how it's gonna feel. But I remembered being unsure about Numb as well, where I was like, well, it's kind of depressing, so I don't know how I'll feel when I dance to it, but I'll give it a shot. and I tried dancing to it and I loved it. I loved dancing to it. So I feel like it's gonna be the same for Bring Me to Life. All right, next one is Dynamite Classic. I have to say, I don't have a ton of feedback on this because it's pretty much what I expected, except for the fact that they're switching characters, which I was really happy about. I think it's a good way to like incorporate the other dancers in the classic, because when it's a solo, but the song is from a group, it kind of feels like you're missing out on, you know, every other piece of the puzzle, if that makes sense. So I think having them change is really, really smart, especially at their like different times that they sing in the song. Other than that, I don't have a lot of feedback on it because it's another one of the ones that I kind of expected, but I love it. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'm really glad that Just Dance does these like classic solo versions of difficult K-pop songs. It's nice to see a gap bridged between not knowing a dance at all and like learning the really hard version. It's really hard to go from this to this so quickly. So it's nice to have something in the middle to like make it a bit easier and more natural. So yeah, super cool. Good job. Disco Inferno is so much fun. I love the disco songs. I hope they keep adding them. I also love that it's the same stage as Magic, which Just Dance has tweeted about. I think it's called Scarlet's Palace, and it definitely seems almost kind of like, I got the impression that it was like a drag show area because a lot of the coaches that they featured on the front of Scarlet's Palace were like drag coaches. But Magic is there, and so is Disco Inferno. So I don't know. It just seems like a really fun, like disco-y dance type of place, and I'm excited to learn more about it. We're getting more Just Dance lore. Let's go. I have to say, this is the one that I really don't have much of an opinion on because it's kind of like what I expect from a Just Dance map, and everything else we saw was so shocking that this one looks like pretty normal in comparison. I don't have anything bad to say about it. I think it's fun. I love that the devil is a queen. Love that. Walking on Sunshine had everyone so confused. When the map first started, I was like, oh, we're getting another Siha Nova map. I can reuse the cosplay I have. And then she just got like boinked out of the sky. I have to say, I love the creativity that they're putting into the game this year because pictograms have been a part of Just Dance since day one. They've been there since the beginning and they've never gotten their own map. And you know what? I support it. I support a pictogram's right to be able to dance on the screen. Good for them. I also think it's a really smart way of making a map where it can be animated and they can like reuse old backgrounds and bring back older coaches. I think it's really sweet to see all the pictos from all the different maps dancing together. It's kind of cute. The only thing that I was confused on, and I don't even really know if it's negative feedback, but more like just I need more detail. So where the pictograms normally are in like the bottom right is now replaced with like all these random images. Like one of them is like this cursed looking sandwich that almost looks like a blobfish. And my immediate guess was like, because the pictograms aren't doing their job, now it's just like everything's a mess. Like everything's running amok. And it's almost kind of like, see how hard this would be if you didn't have pictograms. It's like the pictograms are on strike. The pictograms are unionizing. Just Dance. Give the pictograms health insurance and 401ks. They need retirement funds. So that was my guess, is that it shows you how hard things would be if pictograms weren't there. But the images are so randomly chosen that I have no idea where they came from or why. I don't know if there's like a better explanation of why the pictograms are like peanut butter jelly sandwiches and a Slinky toy. If anyone else has any insight, please feel free to put it in the comments because my mind is not as sharp as it used to be, okay? Some of us are struggling. Either way, I have to say I love the creativity of it. Like the shock value of like, what is so worth it. I feel like I've said it a bajillion times, but I'm so happy to see Just Dance like branching out and trying new things with their maps because every year felt like the same thing over and over again. And so to see these different types of maps is so exciting. Even if assets are reused and costumes are reused and stuff, whatever, I don't really care. It's creative and it's different and it's unique and it's shocking. And it's just been such a great what is it called? Release cycle. It's been a really good preview cycle. There's literally only been 1 week where people were like, I don't really care. And every other week has been incredible. So Just Dance, please keep doing this. Please keep being weird. I know another weird song that you guys could add to the game. Just a thought. Therefore I Am is the next song we watched. And I have to say, Just Dance never disappoints with a Billie song. Billie Eilish has such an interesting vibe and they always capture her music so well. This dancer does an amazing job of dancing really well in a way that looks like they really don't care at all either. Like, obviously dancing requires a lot of effort, but it takes even more effort to dance well and look like you don't care about anything you're doing. Whoever that dancer is, I need them to drop their back stretching routine because bestie, we need it. We need it now. I love Therefore I Am. Great job. Also, the costume looks amazing, like stylish, but also so comfortable. And as someone who is literally in pajamas right now, you think I'm joking. These pajamas have seen some shit. Like, these pajamas have been to war. Look at these tattered pajamas. The last one we watched was Woman Alternate, and at first I thought this was an extreme, and now it's kind of hard to tell. I think probably because we got the very beginning of it. I love the intro to this song. I have to say, I hope that they include classic characters in extremes more frequently because it feels like it's cohesive. Like, it feels like they're in the same universe. It doesn't feel like they're, you know, completely separate, unrelated. It almost kind of looks like, so, okay, this is what I got from this. So the 4 girls in the classic version of Woman Alt kind of look like different elements, like water, fire, earth. It's Avatar: The Last Airbender and Just Dance. Let's go. What I got from the alternate coach is that she seems almost like the mother of these like 4 characters. And in the beginning, she has like the like crescent moon cycles like on her, like, what is that called? It's like a cover up sort of. And then when she's dancing, it's a different costume and it's like split in half. So when I saw her initially, I thought it was like moon related. And then when I saw the split in half one, I was thinking like sun and moon. So this seems like a very like natural element type of inspired map, and I am living for it. I love it so much. I would love if Just Dance posted like a video on different maps and like what their inspiration was and what their goal was, because I feel like sometimes I can't really tell. And then when they talk about it and explain it, I'm like, oh, I would just love to get inside their brains, because I remember when Dina was talking about working on Toxic, she was saying how there's this whole process of brainstorming and taking inspiration and finding screenshots and music videos. And I would just love to take a peek inside like the brainstorming process of what they're going for, because I find it really fascinating. I kind of got off topic, but I do love Woman Alt. I love the intro. I love including the classic coaches and having them like introduce her. I think that's really amazing. I hope that they do stuff like that more often, because it is nice to see the 2 maps kind of merge in a way, not merge into one map, but like to see them like related to each other, like they're acknowledged that they exist. I think that's really cool. I have to say also, this coach's costume I think is one of my favorite of all time. I think the split down the middle costume looks really hard to put together, especially like her headpiece, because it's like 2 different headpieces are like fused together in the middle. And I have to say, they like, oh, the way they executed that, perfect. They got to get these Just Dance costume designers on like New York Fashion Week or something. So those are my thoughts. Overall, I am like amazed by this week. I think this is the happiest I've been about a preview week probably since like the Nintendo Direct, or maybe when Toxic was announced. I think my favorite is probably Therefore I Am, just because I really like the style of dancing in Billie Eilish's songs. It's very like laid back hip hop type of dancing, and that's kind of like some of my favorite type of dancing. I want to say thank you so much to my team Center Stage for coming on this St. Jude trip and also all of their fundraising efforts. If you don't know St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, it's a hospital in Memphis, Tennessee, here in the United States. They are working to end pediatric cancer and other life-threatening illnesses for children, and the work that they do is incredible. They also have a global initiative where they share their research with other hospitals around the world completely for free. They also take in families from all over the world, and they've housed a lot of families from Ukraine. They are an incredible hospital. They work so hard to make sure that no family ever pays a bill to make sure that their child will be okay. If you want to learn more about their mission, you can go to stjude.org. We usually do like a really long Center Stage dance-a-thon where everybody has a stream slot and like time that they go live, and we all just keep raiding into each other over and over for days, and it's so much fun. And it's just a really special time of year, and I'm really proud of our team for how much we've raised and the lives that we've changed, I guess. I know that's like a really corny way to put it, but I think we've done a lot of good from playing Just Dance, and I love this team so much. I did not film a lot of stuff, but I've been posting a lot of our experiences on Instagram and Twitter and stuff, so shameless plug, go follow Instagram and Twitter. And of course, I also stream Just Dance on Twitch if you guys want to come hang out over there. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!